Welcome to Southeast Iowa Union Prep Sports Plus. That was a horrible O. Don't reduce noise. My computer says that they're reducing my noise.
You're too
How about
loud.
you just let me live my life? I'm Andy Kretzinger. This is Jack Knowlton. Peter Cameron, the ones and twos.
Oh.
And we're going to be talking some sports, kind of closing the book on summer sports today, talking about the all-union teams, talking about and then transitioning into this is the transition. We're transitioning into the fall officially. We got some tennis for you. Don't miss that. And then we got some fun controversy for the C block. We're gonna go there on the C block. I am anyway. I've got a take Quake for the C block today. Fun fact.
Quake.
Take Quake.
You need one of those, Peter. That says take Quake, or like just one of those deep voices. That's like the Trapaholics.
Take Quake. Batten down the hatches.
Yeah.
You better batten down the hatches, Mr. Wayne, because there's a storm coming. She doesn't even say that. Does she say that? Does anybody watch the Odyssey movie?
Yeah.
Huge miss if she doesn't say that line.
If she doesn't say batten down the hatches, Mr. Wayne.
Maybe not Mr. Wayne. Better batten down the hatches, Mr. Agamemnon.
I mean, Bruce Wayne is in it, but
Mr. Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
Is
He's got too many
Agamemnon even in
consonants
the
in a
Odyssey
row.
movie?
Well, wouldn't it
He's
be?
not really doing. He's an Iliad guy. Iliad, hot take to start things off. Everyone ready for a hot take?
Sure.
Iliad's way better than the Odyssey as a.
That's what I've heard.
Way better. The Odyssey gets points for the Trojan horse, which it's in that story for like 5 seconds. It's not even, that's an Aeneas story. Anyway, let's talk a little all union teams, Jack.
Let's do it.
And we did our all unions. We did them. We did the all union teams. They were hard as always for summer sports. People got left out that hurt our heart. If anybody doesn't know what the all union teams are, first off, thank you for being such a big fan that you're new enough not to know the all union teams, but you'll watch our show. Second off, it is our all-star teams of union area players. It's big stuff. I mean, I got messages from fans of non-union teams being like, "Hey, how come this kid wasn't on that team?"
Really?
Yeah. I mean, people read these, people live these. I've seen like Washington softball did a cool little graphic for their kids that made it.
They did.
I saw we got retweets from some of the players on these. So just so everyone knows, these are important teams. It is a full baseball softball team for our big schools and our small schools. Mid Prairie still being with our small schools. I know that in 2026 it's a little confusing because Mid Prairie is like started to go from a small to closer to the big schools. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna read them off. Let's read them off. Should we start with baseball or softball, Jack?
We can start with baseball if you want, because I will give a quick shout out, a little bit of a spoiler to Caden Courtney of Cardinal and Archer Cruder of Fairfield, because both of them did also make All-State on top of they are also on the All-Union area team. Spoiler alert, you make All-State, you're probably going to get on the All-Union area team. But Courtney was on the Class 2A first team, Archer Cruder making it onto second team for Class 3A. So congratulations to them. And with that, I think you should introduce the 3A or the big school all-union teams because of Mr. Cruder. Big school all-union baseball.
Well deserved. And we will start with all-union big school baseball. And the coach for this year, coaching was kind of a crazy one. It's only a three horse race for coach of the all-union baseball team. We went with Mr. Brent Broker of Mount Pleasant High School. They had a nice year. Definitely better than I probably would have expected with how many people they had to replace. Won a game in the tournament. Brent Broker, the coach. The captain was Archer Cruder from Fairfield, led them in like every offensive category. And he barely edged out our first pitcher, Dane Burkhardt of Fairfield, who I believe was the All-Union captain last year. We got Grayson Lauer of Mount Pleasant in a pitcher spot. We got catcher Aiden Westerkamp. Our infield, Aiden Westerkamp from Fairfield, by the way. Our infield, Fairfield's Voss Richardson, Mount Pleasant's Jamison Rich, and Ethan Peck. And Washington's Blaze Richardson. Oh, I didn't even realize this. Our infield is 2 Richardsons and a Rich. And a Peck.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And then Ethan Peck.
That's very funny. Our outfield is Fairfield's Ethan Bisgard and Jacob Crew, along with Washington's Isaac Madrano. And I'm reading from a list that has nothing to do with the paper that we just sent each other, but I saw a spelling mistake there, so I have to fix it or my brain will go crazy. And our utilities, Washington's Ethan Peebler and Fairfield's Jackson Coleman.
It's great. It's a good list. There was a lot of highs for all 3 of our big school SEC baseball teams. Is a super competitive year. Like you said with the coaches, like obviously Fairfield, almost winning the league again puts them right up there. Washington, won 9 games. All of those were in conference. I don't think they've done that since 2021. So, they have some bright future names in there with their picks, but I think it's pretty balanced. Mount Pleasant too. All of those guys deserved entries. But yeah, Archer Cruder, he's competing with most of his teammates for the captaincy spot. But you mentioned the statistical categories. He was in the top 5 in like almost everything hitting wise. He had an outstanding year. What I meant to say with Coach Broker, the 400 wins, got to put him over the top.
That's true. And by the way, this is for the all union big school teams. It's rare that like whoever we picked of those 3 actually had an argument this year. There was we had to discuss between 3. Usually it's like it's either obvious or you're discussing between 2, but we had to figure out between 3. So good work. Trojans led that list. I don't have the seniors and juniors on the screen I'm looking right now, but just looking through, good amount of seniors, especially for the Fairfield kids. But a lot of those Washington and Mount Pleasant kids coming back next year. How about our Smallies on the baseball thing?
Yes,
Mr. Jack.
Small school selections for baseball. Coach, it's Aaron Deutsch of Pekin. Won the SEISC North, won a couple of playoff games, went 17-4 this year with the Panthers. Spoiler alert, they'll have a lot of players in this year too, but not the captain. That honor belongs to Bryce Hazlett of Highland. Hit .469, Player of the Year in the SEISC North. Also was a very good pitcher, 52 strikeouts on top of the hitting. Our 2 pitcher selections for those spots, though, go to Trevor Phillips of Winfield Mount Union and Matthew Blommy of Cardinal. Blommy, 97 strikeouts, which was 4th in all of Class 2A. Trevor Phillips, one of the better pitching performances I saw a year when he went complete game no-hitter complete game shutout against Louisa Muscatine in the playoffs. Catcher is Riley Smith of Pekin. A lot of good catchers in the SEISC North this year from the area. Our 4 infielders, Blake Baker of Keota, Brooks Weber of Mid Prairie, Rowan Miller of Hillcrest Academy, and Nolan Glick of Pekin. Outfield was the best hitter in maybe all of the Southeast Iowa Super Conference, not just the North. Henry Adam, Highlands Caleb Wheeler, and Winfield Mount Union second selection Tyson Kaleberg made the outfield. Utility players were Bryson Horaz of Keota. And you're saying, wait a minute, Jack, we haven't heard Caden Courtney's name yet. That's because he was a utility selection for Cardinal. 464 average, 5 home runs, 10 doubles, 21 stolen bases. Deserved a couple of honors for them. Bryson Horaz as well. 17 games, hit .596. That was the second best average in the entire state across all 4 classes last season.
Congratulations to those black guys. By the way, I have a funny anecdote about Henry Adam. You remember a few weeks ago, fans, when I was lamenting about choking in that softball tournament and it was bases loaded, 2 outs, down 2?
Yes.
I had like a moment of clarity that when Henry Adam hit his game-winning grand slam, that was the exact same situation, right? Bases loaded, down 2,
Yep.
2 outs.
It was.
We both came to play in the exact same situation.
It was. Yeah, Henry Adam, I mean, pretty wild numbers. 509, 4 home runs, 35 RBIs. He had an OPS of 1.522, struck out 73 batters on the pitching mound as well. Just a pretty wild year. And guess what? He can come back for Pekin. He'll be back this fall on the football field. It is funny too, Blake Baker, Brooks Weber, and Rowan Miller, 2 or 3 of our infielders. Nolan Glick, our 4th infielder, all 4 of them pitched a whole bunch too. So they were they all got kind of a bump there with being on the mound, but good infielders, good hitters as well.
A lot of times, for during our small school baseball teams, it's small school. You have a lot of your best athletes are going to pitch, so a lot of those kids were on the mound, not just the pitchers. Now, why don't we scroll up and talk a little softball, Mr. Jack?
Sure.
Softball, all union big school softball coach of the year. Hopefully he's happy with me on this because I used a picture from about 5 years ago, so I aged him down 5 years on our newspaper as Mr. Bob Bradfield of Fairfield.
Bob Fairfield.
Who I will say I would have ranked Fairfield. I would have said they probably would finish behind Washington and Burlington for sure, and maybe another team in the standings with how many seniors they have last year. But Fairfield softball always comes through, and they went all the way to the de facto conference championship this year. And a huge part of that was Leah Helmick, who had ridiculous numbers. She gets our captain spot. I think this is a rare time, and I'll talk about Layton later, where we've in both of our big school things. I think the captain from last year was not the captain this year, but they were still, on the team.
Yeah.
But Leah Helmick from Fairfield gets the captain spot. Our pitchers, and by the way, she was the number 1 pitcher for Fairfield. Our pitchers are the number 1 pitchers for the other 2 schools. Colby Greiner of Washington, Chaley Cook of Mount Pleasant. Both took big steps this year, in my opinion. Catcher, Ireland Cranston of Fairfield. Leah and Ireland had almost this close to half of the team's RBIs if you add them up together. I did the math yesterday while I was doing this one. Our infield is a Washington's Leighton Salazar and Keegan Coleman, and Mount Pleasant's Peyton Insminger, and Fairfield's Emma Scepter. I tried to look stupid. Go Bound was messing with me on yesterday because I was trying to look up to see if Leighton was the leader in average for Washington for 5 years. I want to say she was 8th grade through senior.
I believe so. For sure, the leader in hits.
I believe she's a 5-time All-Union. Well, I know she is. We would never left her off. So Leighton is a 5-time All-Union softball player. Our outfield, and Opie gets up for the outfield, people. He loves outfield. That's what position he would play. Abigail Shellingoski of Mount Pleasant, Vanessa Kessel of Fairfield, and Lillian Magdafrau of Washington. That is a great defensive outfield, by the way. It's just imagining that outfield in the actual outfield. That's a great defensive outfield. And our utilities, Natalie Hartman and Kalia Gertis of Washington.
Again, very competitive with how much of a great year Fairfield had, and of course Washington, surging at that, after the middle part of the season, got a lot of selections who really shined in that later part. I am still lamenting, Andy, that we did not get. We were one close play away from a Washington Fairfield game to go to state, which just would have been cinematic. I'm still lamenting that didn't happen. It's a tough one.
That would be extremely cinematic. We have not had that yet, I don't think, between 2 of our big schools. I'm not sure if we've had 2 of our small schools play to go to state that I can remember. anyway, at least in a while. But that would have been the ultimate in the Highway 1 rivalry. Maybe next year. A lot of those players coming back. We've talked about this. Softball next year, the entire Southeast Conference will be on the up and up because a lot of really good juniors, sophomores, freshmen coming back next year.
Indeed. We did, however, have a state representative on the small school softball side. That was, of course, the Cardinal Comets, who kick off this small school softball all-union team with both the coach and the captain, the coach being Hannah Simpson, the captain, McLean Hickenbottom. McLean, 230 strikeouts. That was fourth in all of 2A. And, of course, hit the ball fairly well as well. Our two pitchers, Jillian Stransky of Highland and Jesselyn Aller of Keokuk, a couple of conference champions there as the leading pitchers. Catcher was Adley Sweeting from Highland. Infield, Kenzie Roosh from Highland, Ashlyn Huff from Van Buren County, an all-state selection for her this year, hit 389, and the most singles, most base hits, 30 in the SEISC South. Other infielders, Quinn Smith of New London, Winfield, Mount Union, and Summer LaRue of Cardinal. She also made All-State along with McLean Hickenbottom. Outfield is Sophie Miller of Mid-Prairie, Sienna Bell of Highland, and Cameron Fink of Highland. The Huskies, of course, came one game away from state, had to play the eventual, now two-time state champions, Clarksville, who went all the way in 2025 and again in 2026. Utilities, Isabel Vigneron from Hillcrest Academy, an eighth grader making the cut, was awesome for a Hillcrest team with no seniors, hit 362, 5 doubles and 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, led the team in all those categories, only struck out 9 times all year. So she is a very exciting player for the future for Hillcrest and for Hillcrest, frankly. And our other utility was Ezra Parsons of Pekin. Really good year for the Panthers. Finished third in the SEISC North, and she hit 468, 15 RBIs. Pitched in 10 games as well, so that was a competitive spot there. But yeah, Cardinal, 3 selections in Highland, 5, I believe. Those were our 2 best performing teams in the postseason, and it was reflected in the all union team. And again, not a ton of seniors. Summer LaRue and Quinn Smith are, and I believe that is it. There might be one more that I'm missing as I'm scrolling back through it. And Sophie Miller, of course, from Mid-Prairie is also a senior. But yeah, no other upperclassmen in that group.
Very young
team.
softball crew this year. And softball, baseball, sometimes you get that, and because sometimes seniors don't play as much. But I don't think that we have that problem as much here in Southeast Iowa. So I wouldn't be surprised if all those players are back. And next year's going to be great in baseball and softball.
Will be fun. It was a great year this year, and she thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's going to be exciting. And you know what else is going to be exciting? The transition to fall sports, which we will be doing at the commercial break. When we come back, I was at some live fall sports, some live 2026-27 high school sports. I'm going to tell you about it. Stick with us.
At WCHC, our goal is to take great care of our patients and our staff.
We are able to approach you, take care of your issues, but also give you a path, as far as referrals or treating you right then and there.
Our role in the community is taking care of something that matters to everyone. It's their family and their health.
More than you expect for your health care.
Check out Community Profiles every Thursday, where our host, Greta Clemens, talks with people from around Washington about their stories and highlighting upcoming events. Make sure to tune in to Community Profiles every Thursday at 10 on the Southeast Iowa Live Facebook and YouTube page.
Welcome back. Prep Sports Plus, powered by all of the advertisers you see on the screen right now. They love us. We love them. They love on you, so love on them by coming to their establishments, supporting them financially, emotionally, spiritually. Jack, you play much tennis the last couple summers?
No, I'm sad about that. I want to pick up tennis and pickleball again. I miss it.
Yeah, pickleball. Oh, I saw a take. I don't remember who had this take. Somebody had a take the other day. Yesterday. Was it like? It was like. I have to look it up. I'm gonna look up who had this take. You tell me if it's a good one, and I'm gonna look up who had it. Somebody said that the AI data centers are so like hated against that they will become pickleball courts of the future.
There you go. Like people
Pickleball
will.
is going to take over the data centers.
Yeah, people will just want to put pickleball courts there. That would be a much better use for the space, if I must say so myself. But
Yeah, I'm anti-data centers. And I'm the king of AI, and I'm anti-data centers. Mark Cuban said that. Mark Cuban's the one who said that.
That's a very Mark Cuban quote. But
yeah.
But no, Andy, I have not played much tennis or much pickleball this summer, which I'm very bummed about. I need to get back out there. But I'm excited to watch some girls tennis and cover some girls tennis this fall, which is already underway. And you were at Fairfield.
It sure is. I was watching the Fairfield Trojans. Now listen here, everybody. The Fairfield Trojans played a Keokuk team that just swept Davis County. 9-0. And you know what Fairfield did to Keokuk?
Not the biggest Davis County headline this week, by the way.
No. Not the biggest Davis County headline this week. Shout out Davis County. Those guys were in the Little League World Series almost one year. Now they played against me. The Trojans swept Keokuk. They swept them 9-0. Let me tell you, for as good as Fairfield is, and Fairfield girls tennis is going to be good this year. Keokuk gave him a nice little battle here. Rhea Ross was on the #1 singles. By the way, that's something to watch for, is that Fairfield has like 4 kids who could probably be a #1 singles competitor this year. But Rhea Ross had a battle, beat her opponent 6-4, 7-5. Natalie, she's a returner from the state doubles with Surya Yamaner last year. Natalie Steele, who was now a 2-time singles place winner, won her match 6-3, 6-1. Yamaner won 6-1, 6-1. Marin Duncan won 6-3, 6-0. Faven Gaber Merriam won 6-0, 6-0. And Kinsley Duncan won 6-0, 6-0 in singles. And then in doubles, Ross and Yamaner won 8-5. And there's a couple 10-2 victories, one from Steele and Gabriel Merriam, one from Duncan and Duncan. Couple of America at Fairfield runs on Duncan, both the coach and 2 players.
Oh, that's good. That's definitely going to be repeated this fall.
Thank you. Yep,
Fairfield runs on Duncan. That's good stuff.
Hopefully we don't get copyright stricken.
No free ads.
No free ads. Duncan. So Trojans 1-0. The Trojans were famously, I think, undefeated team-wise until, or maybe once defeated. I'm going to look that up right now. I believe undefeated. Yeah, undefeated until the tournament last year. Team-wise, they won their first 11 matchups. And that included matchups against the Mount Pleasant Panthers, who were in Notre Dame. They were in Burlington to play against Notre Dame on same day, Monday. Notre Dame had to forfeit 1 singles and 1 doubles because they had 5 players. Mount Pleasant has about 30 players, and we got an 8-0 win. By the way, this is a 7-0. Really, it's a 9-0 sweep for Mount Pleasant as well. It says 7-0 right now on GoBound, but it's really 9-0 because of the 2 forfeits. Lila Cook wins her singles match 8-0. Katana Feng Chinthong wins 8-6. Bella Dodds wins 8-2. Liana Feng Chinthong wins 8-0. Shea Barbie wins 8-5. And then in doubles, Cook and Dodds go 8-4. And the Feng Chinthongs win 8-1. So far, and then two forfeit wins add on to that. So far, Mount Pleasant and Fairfield a combined 18-0 in tennis singles and doubles play. Mr. Jack.
I like the Mount Pleasant and Fairfield.
It is.
Look to the dog. Look to the barking dog. Yeah, I mean, a great start. You had been hyping this up. Girls tennis last fall was sort of was sort of the in-between time. That was like right when I was joining the union. So I wasn't really locked in, just trying to get my feet under me starting up. So, but you had hyped it up definitely with Mount Pleasant and Fairfield and their potential. And then, you alerted me to the fact that Mount Pleasant just has so many people on their roster. Seems like there's a ton of interest, which is always a good sign because, of course, that pushes the players at the top to do things like this, beat Notre Dame and Keokuk for if you're Fairfield. And guess what, Andy? We will not have to wait long to find out who might be the better between these two appeared Southeast powers, because they play on Monday, 4:30 at Fairfield Middle School. I'm very excited for it. Andy's muted.
They sure do. And also, Mount Pleasant plays Burlington, who's supposed to this week. It might get rained out. And Fairfield plays Burlington next week. Burlington also, they are 2-0 with 2 sweeps, which would be the other good team. I assume that there's definitely a clear power rankings, in my opinion. I think it'd be Fairfield, Burlington, Mount Pleasant of those 3.
Okay.
Just because of a lot of the same girls from last year's team. But we'll see. We will see.
I'm excited for this Tulip City tussle for Fairfield as well over at Pella. That features a lot of teams. It looks like that they played at state last year. You got Boone in there, Clarinda, Pella Christian, Spencer. Those were all teams on Fairfield's list. Decorah, another one. They all played at state, so chance for some revenge there.
I say that Fairfield should be the easy favorite, but I will say Fairfield. I mean, Fairfield, I lost a couple, but one of those was Pujita Mugadame, the number 1 player for them last year. So I guess when you consider the fact that Mount Pleasant is just moving up, I mean, Mount Pleasant is just basically staying the same with a lot of their players playing in the same slot that they did last year, that maybe that'll be more competitive than I think. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, you never know year to year, but Mount Pleasant against Notre Dame, you don't see Notre Dame get swept in a lot of sports. By the way, the SEC tournament this year in Burlington, back where it was last year. And that's all that we have for tennis, because it's only girls tennis and there's only 2 teams, Jack.
Yep.
There's only 2 teams. But when we come back, there's a controversy that we're going to talk about. A international controversy. We're not going to shy away. We never do. Stick with us.
I love helping people. I always wanted to help people. That's what I love the most.
We do a really good job of growing our own, but also we are able to take your skills, adapt them to what we need, or grow them as well.
Our leadership group here, they are actively involved, always supportive of our new ideas and innovation here at the hospital.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics. Apply today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Southeast Union Prep Sports Plus.
I switched it on him. He was ready to click the other button, and I changed it on him. Ha ha!
Oh.
Bam.
What say you, Jack and Peter, on the Little League World Series?
So I did actually read about this to do a brief amount of preparation about this OG, as they're referred to in their initials.
I was gonna say they had a ringer.
Yeah, this Tulsa, Oklahoma team that so they played in the game to go to the World Series, correct, Andy?
Okay. Yes, so they're playing in. So if nobody knows how the Little League works, all right, I'm gonna take it from the top. You start with this 12-year-old Little League. This is who ends up on ESPN. You start with a regional tournament. The local region for us is Van Buren County has a team. Jawika Little League has a team, which is more close to Washington area, Washington, Jefferson. Fairfield has a team. So that's 3. Ottumwa, Albia, Sheraton, Centerville. They all have these teams in District 7, right? So you win your district, you go to the state tournament. You win the state tournament, you go to the regionals, which is how you can get on ESPN. Because if you're one of the top 4 teams in the regionals, ESPN starts showing the regional championships.
Okay.
So that's what's going on right now. It's the regionals. It's not technically the Little League World Series right now. In Indiana is where Iowa's team is right now. Iowa and Missouri play today, Mr. Jack.
Where's
But
Iowa's
this
team
is
from?
tomorrow.
Do you know?
Iowa's team is from, and this is part of my, this is part of my take quake. Iowa's team is from Davenport Southwest. Okay.
Oh.
Little League. I'll just do my take quake right now. Because Davenport Southwest is where, Davenport Northwest, sorry. Iowa, who's a very good Little League program, the Iowa team usually does pretty well. I think Iowa's the best Midwest team in the Central region. If you go by like year by year results, Iowa is like the power in the region for whatever reason. Iowa also is represented sometimes by Davenport's Little Leagues, sometimes by Des Moines Little Leagues. I think Sioux City has Little Leagues. A lot of other Little Leagues just happen to be represented. Was Peter like bracing for me to rip on Missouri?
No. Keep going.
The other Little Leagues are represented very consistently by, like, in the Midwest, like Minnesota, Coon Rapids pretty much every year. Missouri, Daniel Boone and Columbia almost every year.
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska's in Kearney. North Dakota's in Fargo. South Dakota's in Sioux Falls. Almost every year, the exact same Little League wins in the other states. Right? They dominate these tournaments. Now, put a pin in that. Tulsa, Oklahoma Little League was in the Southwest Regional. Their softball team from the exact same Little League won and went to the regionals for softball. And then right before, I think they played like 2 games in the regional, they were eliminated by Little League brass for running illegal players. Not only running illegal players, but also falsifying where people are living. If you guys remember the Jackie Robinson thing, Jack. That being Jack.
The thing I heard was like they had the person on the team was not living in the area that was supposed to be designated for that Little League team, but they had a sibling of theirs was playing for like another team affiliated with that Little League program. And so that was how they were allowed to have this player on the team. But then they discovered that the sibling was not actually playing for this other team affiliate.
Yes. So the baseball team, the Tulsa baseball team, which just got banned, they seem to have done something even worse, because according to the allegations, it seems like they think that they used a program for they actually say that they used a program that allows it's called a challenger program. I think I believe it's like for a special needs player can come and play in that Little League, and then their sibling also is eligible for the Little League.
Yeah, that's what I read.
And it seems as though they lied.
Yeah, and that the kid was not actually playing for the challenger program.
Yes, and they manipulated it.
They just put him on the list so that the sibling could play for this other team.
Yes. And so this is so common. So Jackie Robinson, nobody's done that. I've never heard a scandal on the challenger program. But Jackie Robinson, remember it was like 2013 or 14. It was like the biggest Little League World Series because it was the Monique Davis one. Jackie Robinson had this team that just killed everyone, and then and they got caught by the Jackie Robinson thing is crazy because Jackie Robinson a few years ago, 10 years ago at this point, they had dominated the Illinois, like their region. And the coaches from those teams were the ones that were compiling the evidence to get them kicked out or disqualified.
I remember that.
And I wouldn't be surprised if with Tulsa, I think it's the same thing. I think the teams that you beat in the regionals are going to know, like, these guys stole kids. I mean, the teams you beat in regionals are probably some of the teams that you beat that you stole kids from, right? So it seems like a growing problem where these little leagues are rigging the rules and lying about where people live to build these super teams. And I'm just gonna go ahead and red flag it. There are a lot of little leagues that seem to win their region every single year. What are the odds that those little leagues just happen to have the best team every year? Or is this a widespread problem where there are, people are just moving into these little leagues to try and get to the Little League World Series?
Game the
Isn't
system.
it suspicious, Jack?
Game the system. Yeah,
Seems like gaming the system.
it's
Seems
sad.
like gaming the system. So shout out to Iowa. Shout out to the state of Iowa, the greatest state in the union, because Iowa, as I said, first off, Iowa is one of the best Little League teams every year, and Iowa seems to be immune to that a little bit, where there are 4 or 5 different Little Leagues that at least win. Just going back to fact check myself. This year it's Davenport Northwest. Last year it was North Scott Little League. 2024 it was Davenport Southeast. 2023 it was Johnston. So it seems like Iowa every year has a legitimate tournament. And the other states, it kind of seems like you have lambs to slaughter. And so what are the odds? What do you think? What say you, Jack? Do you think that people are cooking the books a little bit?
Unfortunately, probably, but it remains to be evidence. But I think, you get some crookedness in that, which is sad. It should be about the kids, not
It
about
should be about the kids and the real kids. Shout out Danny Almonte, who was like 18 years old playing in this thing when I was a kid. Live update, by the way. I didn't realize that the game was already on. Missouri now up 1 on Iowa early in that game. If you're watching this on Thursday, you probably know what happened.
Probably.
So Little League baseball is just as grimy as it always has been. Oh, and by the way, the Little League that they kicked out got a judge. Tulsa got a judge. They were in the championship for the region. Like, they were going to play on ESPN yesterday. And there's 2 teams that were playing to play against Tulsa to go to the Little League World Series. And they got kicked out right before that game. And so they were just like, all right, the 2 teams that were playing to play against Tulsa, that's actually the championship. And then they played that. The Texas team won, celebrated with the banner. And then Tulsa got a judge to overturn it or do a temporary restraining order thing and call the game back on. And then the team they're supposed to play was like, well, we're not going to show up to that. And then the Little League was like, well, we're not going to send like umpires or anything. And so they had a special session or whatever and ruled Tulsa ineligible. So there we go.
Madness.
And
Madness.
Jack, and
Everywhere.
speaking of madness, Jack yelled at a ref during a soccer tournament.
I protested a call. And I apologized at the end for getting snippy.
Yes.
But I got snippy. Everyone does it, all right? A little hot-headedness.
I did too. I yelled at a ref. I didn't yell, but I had a meeting with an officiant of softball this summer. And I actually used the words, well, I mean, if you just like pull out the rule packet and he's like, I know what I'm doing. I was right on that. Jack scored 2 goals in soccer this Sunday. Everyone, congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Congrats, Jack. Big day.
The biggest
big
day.
Weekend. Big weekend for...
Big week upcoming for sports. Everyone go check out the Union. Go check out Peter's Sights and Sounds from Washington's night at Case Field. It did very well. And we're going to talk a lot of football next week. So stay tuned.
So much football.
Unofficial
Get
week
ready.
0.
Yep.
Be there.
It's week 0 next week.
Be there for week 0.
It's drivable.
Mamma mia.
See you, everybody.